hustle, you just go out there on the corner and sell. If you sell and you do great, fine. If you don't, fine. No, and in the business, it can't be just fine. All right? If you're not doing as well as you like to do, you got to look into your business and find out, okay, why am I not being consistent with my sales? What do I need to do differently? Do I need to look at a different market? Do I need to do something differently? See, a business is different than a hustle. And when you come out every day for a hustle, you don't know what you're going to be doing. When you come out with a business, you have a projection. You know what you're trying to achieve. All right? You know what you're trying to look at. So there's a difference. So despite the need for diversity, all of your team members should have one thing in common. They should all understand the basic principles of business. If they don't, you have to help them understand that before you really involve them in your business. All right? Because what are they going to bring to it if they don't have those basic principles? Every person you bring into your business must understand that everything they do must be done with the goal of contributing to the profitability of the business. Okay? Everything they do in the business should be with the goal of contributing to the profit of your business. All right? Not just to put money in their pocket. The profit of the business, so everybody benefits who's in that business. While putting careful planning into the structure of your company's core team may seem unnecessary, it will pay off in the end. So the time that you take to build your core team, set your structure, the time that you take, it may take you, sometimes to get certain people, it may take you a year, 6 months to a year to get them. But if you just take your time and build that team, it will be, it'll pay off in the end. Let me just use one quick example. Everybody here knows Apple. You know the company Apple, right? It started with two people. You know who the two people were? Steve Jobs and Wozniak. Wozniak and Steve Jobs. They started Apple Computer. They started in a garage. All right? They both worked together, but it was just those two until they put the rest of their team together. Apple now is one of the most valuable brands out there, one of the most valuable brands. Well, it took them time to build that, all right? So, don't think if you don't, get your team going and get things going within a year or two, it's a failure. No. It may take you 3 or 4 years. But if you take your time and build it and have a good structure, all right, and Allah bless you, continue to have your faith and trust in Allah, and Allah bless you, you can do wonders, okay? And you'll see where the value of bringing those certain people together, that it was worth taking the time to bring them together, all right? A business is only as good as the men and women who run it, okay? Only as good as those who run it. And business owners who build a strong team are building a stronger business as well, okay? You see how intelligent this is, how it makes sense, how rational it is? All right, that's why I chose this particular article to bring for my class today. Now, some recommended members of your core team. These are important. These are some of the members that I would recommend. Now, this comes from me. Most businesses today need assistance with tax and financial issues. Therefore, an accountant or CPA is a required team member. You have to have a good accountant. It can be a certified public accountant if you want to, but you have to have a good accountant. Because everybody who's in business should be filing taxes. If you don't, you won't be in business long. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you. And I know some of us, I'm not saying no people in here, but I'm speaking, and somebody's going to see this on YouTube, okay? I don't know where they're going to be when they see this. You're not going to be in business long if you do not pay your taxes. Not in America. Not in America. All right. And the tax man will eventually come for you. If you don't think so, just look in the paper every day and see who they be coming from now. I'm talking about people in big business. They're just so cheap they don't want to pay no taxes. But they come for them. Some of them going to jail too. And they don't go to jail. They go to jail for what they call tax fraud, simply because they refuse to pay taxes. They got, I don't know if you listen to some of these commercials out, but they got commercials out with people who specialize in helping people who hadn't filed taxes in 5 or 10 years. Helping, So anyway, my wife told me to go on. Legal issues abound in today's business climate. So having access to a dependable, competent legal counsel is also necessary. If you don't, if you can't afford to keep an attorney on retainer, make sure you have a good relationship with an attorney that you can go to and have assistance. And that's what I was telling you about my brother. My brother's an attorney. All right. He was a judge at one time, but he had a law practice before he became a judge. Now he's retired from his judgeship, and now he's restarted his law practice. Well, he's my attorney. That's what I go to for legal advice. And his practice is widespread. So he handles business matters. And so I have confidence in him when I go to him with a legal matter, and if he charges me for it, I pay him for it. Okay? He's in business. He's a professional. He's running all, and just because he's my brother, I'm not saying, hey, how come you can't give me a break? No, I pay him. I'm paying him for my legal advice. All right? And so don't be afraid that when you go to seek professionals and they give you a bill, pay the bill. Okay? And if you don't think it's fair, pay the bill, and the next time just don't go back to them. But let me tell you something. Good legal advice, good accountants, hard to come by. And trustworthy, hard to come by. So if you find someone, don't be afraid to pay them. All right? It'll be worth it in the long run. So selection of other team members is based on the business's area of operation. Now, this is a recommendation. If you're in the real estate business, well, another team member had to be a good agent. Am I correct? A good agent. Maybe even a good, you need someone who does the evaluation of property. Inspector who inspects property. So if you're going to be in that kind of business, you want a good property inspector. All right? Someone, also a good appraiser. If you're going to be in that business, these people have to be a part of your team. All right? If you're going to be in a business where you're rehabbing property, a good carpenter, plumber, a good contractor. If you get a good contractor, you can bring all those professions together for you. So if you're in that kind of business, that's essential to be a part of your team. All right. If you run an online business like I do, all right, I have a consultant who's excellent, and he teaches web design. Web design, he teaches that. He's good at it. I'm just learning it, and I've learned a lot. But when I have a problem, I go to him, and I tell him this is an issue I have with this particular website or doing this particular project. And if he gives me an answer to it, and then he sends me a bill, and I pay the bill. Why? Because I'm paying for his expertise. I'm in business. Okay, he's a part of my team. Like I said, I have an online business. I have several. I'm getting ready to launch another online business. All right, and I've already consulted him about it. I always went out and found the software. Now I did that on my own, but I asked him to evaluate the software, and he said this looks good. He said, in fact, I was going to pay almost 3 times the amount that you're going to be paying for this software to set up a similar business. You see what I'm saying? So that kind of knowledge, I couldn't have gotten that without having someone to look at it who was better at it than I am. All right. So this is why I say choose your team members based on the type of business you're in, and don't be afraid to go out and look for them. Okay. So in this day and time, almost any business you're in, social media is important. So with the use of Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google+, these are all what they call online web portals. Becoming more important in business marketing, someone who's well-versed in social media is a must. If you're not that familiar with Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, you don't have to be. Remember, I told you now, you should be just one person running your whole business. Don't think you need to know about everything. You don't. Just bring people into your team that know and can complement what you know. All right. And in this day and time, somebody knows how to use Facebook and how to put your business up and market it on Facebook. Plug into them. Have them as a member of your team. Twitter, YouTube, very important. Very important. How many people know, just been to YouTube and looked at different things on YouTube? All right. I encourage you all to do more of it. You know, there's some people who building their whole business just on YouTube, videoing themselves on YouTube, selling cosmetics just on YouTube, selling clothes just from videos on YouTube, built their whole business, and they run the whole business out of the house. All right, just using YouTube. All right, so you want to have somebody like that who's familiar with social media